Our prayer point today comes from Mark chapter 6, verse 37. One line in that verse says this: "Go and feed them." But let me give you the greater context, because that simple command, go and feed them, is actually a kingdom-sized task. Check this out. Jesus and his disciples decide to go to the other side of the sea, to a remote place, to avoid the crowds. But the people know where he's going, and so they follow him and arrive in great numbers. In fact, they count 5,000 men, not counting the women and children. And when Jesus sees the size of the crowd, he sees that they are like sheep without a shepherd. And he begins to teach them, and he teaches them late into the day. So the disciples come to Jesus and say, "Teacher, send them away to the surrounding villages or towns that they might find some food. This is a remote place and it's getting late." And Jesus gives the command, "You feed them." And this baffles them. They don't know what to do. They ask questions. Are we supposed to go into the towns ourselves and spend 8 months' wages to buy enough food to feed these people? We only have with us 5 loaves and 2 fish. And the story ends with Jesus taking that meal, breaking the bread, blessing it, and passing it out. And he distributes bread and fish to 5,000 people until they're satisfied. It's a miracle. He feeds a multitude of people with just one simple meal. So the reason I want to focus on that one command is because Jesus often gives us kingdom-sized tasks to accomplish. And the nature of a kingdom-sized task is that it's always going to be God-glorifying. It's always going to be Christ-exalting. It's always going to be beyond what we can readily see. It's always going to be beyond our skill set and our own resources. It's a God-sized, kingdom-sized task. So that means it's not about supply and demand. It's not about a 2 fish, 5 loaf limitation. It's not about the greatness of the expense or the smallness of our resources. It's not about the remoteness of the location or the difficulty of the situation. It's not about a difficult cultural context. It's about one simple thing: the X factor, Jesus. Jesus is the X factor for the church. If he gives a command, then the one simple thing is to trust him that he can accomplish it through us and obey. So let's pray today that we have the wherewithal to hear the command of Jesus, that we trust him and obey. There's simply no other way.